Hi, everybody. Time for just kind of a haul video and kind of just a check-in chat video as well. How you guys doing? It's Sunday afternoons, about 3:13 on a Sunday afternoon. I did go thrift shopping today, so this is a kind of a haul. I didn't get a whole lot, but kind of a haul. A little bit of a food haul also. I tried to go thrift shopping yesterday. Oh my gosh, what a mess! I worked until about 2:30 or so, and then I came home. And you know what? When you're having those, like, should I go or do I just want to stay at home? Should I go or do I want to stay home? So I finally decided I'm just going to eat and then I'm going to go. So I go down the bus that goes to Savers, which is where I wanted to go from my apartment on my street. Um, it come well on the weekends. I think it's only like once a half an hour. They have a schedule, an app on the phone too that you can look and see. So there was one coming in about 10 minutes. So I went, got myself ready and went down to the bus stop and waited for the 10 minutes. And then when the bus is coming at the time it was supposed to come on the app, it just goes, not in service, not in service, it says, and just keeps going by. And you're like, okay, what is that? And then you look at the schedule and there's not one for another half an hour. So I thought, I really kind of want to go, but I don't want to sit here for half an hour. So I thought, let me just go home and do some things at home for half an hour. So I just came back and I swept the outside of my apartment, swept the landing area and the stairs. My apartment's kind of on the corner, so it's right by the first flight of stairs too. So always just sweep off my kind of front porch area. It's not really a porch, walkway, and the stairs going downstairs too, because they get dusty and dirty and whatever. I'm the only person that does it. I mean, clearly, I don't mean that as criticism, but it's just there's a very clear delineation you can see on the walkway where in front of my apartment down is swept, and all the rest of the way down the apartment, hey, nobody sweeps that because there's like dust and whatever there. It's kind of funny, but I don't know. I always keep thinking maybe my doing it will inspire somebody to take their broom and go out and sweep in front of their apartment, but apparently not. So that's okay. Anyway, so I did my stuff for about half an hour, check the live schedule. There's one coming in like 5 minutes. So I went down the street to the bus stop again, sat there, waited for it, and sure enough, on time comes around the corner, and I'm like, okay, here we go. And I'm getting on the bus, and she's talking to me. I have headsets on. I'm like, oh, what? She's like, I'm only going to the bridge, which is the very next stop. I'm only going to the bridge. I'm not going past that. Then I'm off. And I'm like, what? And the next one will not be for another half an hour. And I'm like, I was a little bit futless. I mean, I wasn't mad, angry at her or whatever, but I'm like, I don't understand the app. I'm like showing her the app. It said this one a half an hour ago, and now it doesn't it say, doesn't it know that that bus is not continuing on? I mean, how does this thing, they update it, it has GPS on it and they update everything or whatever. It's like, why? So I had to wait an hour and a half if I were sitting here for this one bus. And she's like, oh, sorry, because of Chinese New Year, like, which I kind of had forgotten about. I'm like, oh yeah, because that bus goes through Nuuanu and goes through downtown Chinatown area, that bus that comes by my street. So she's like, it gets caught up in the streets being blocked down there and the traffic and whatever, because Lunar New Year, Chinese New Year around here is a big deal. And there's festivities and all of that in Chinatown over the next few days. And I kind of honestly just wasn't really keeping up with it. I forgot about it. Anyway, so when I heard her say that, I thought, well, I'm not going to wait another half hour. I mean, this is stupid. So I just went home like it didn't go. And, but yeah, the Chinatown festivities, I forgot about that. I don't even know, like, I have not kept up with it at all this year. I mean, I think I'm so like just getting over 2025 starting that uh, I don't even know like what this is, the year of the rat or the year of the chicken or what. I have no idea. Like I don't even know. Um, and I didn't go. I just didn't feel like going down to like some big crowded party. I don't like those Chinese firecrackers. I don't like them. I don't like firecrackers, period. But I really don't like the ones that they set off all the time at Lunar New Year down in Chinatown, where there's just like strings of just loud noise. I mean, extremely loud. Just like no. I don't want to be around that. I really don't like that. So I just didn't go. Um, anyway, so today, Sunday, I thought, well, I'm going to go to church, and after church, I will go thrift shopping to Savers. So that's what I did. Went through church service and walked down to first stop actually was Aloha Got Soul, which is actually a record label and a storefront. They reissue a lot of old kind of funk and rock folksish sort of Hawaiian stuff. Not so much Hawaiian stuff, but anyway, uh, when I go there, it's a very nice record store. They have a lot of Hawaiian records, but I already have like everything that's been done in Hawaii pretty much. But they also have like a couple of $3 bins for $3 records, and I go through those, and sometimes I find some like easy listening stuff or whatever for Moody Mood Music, and I did find a couple. I got. Mood Jazz and Hi-Fi by Bernard Pfeiffer, piano a la mode. So that should be cute. And I did pick up a Christmas record. I know, whatever. I did. I don't really know who this is, but this is Christmas Is by Pamela Wilson Coloratura, I don't know how you say it, soprano with the Symphony Royale of London, conducted by Jack Dorsey. I just picked that one up. Always good to have more easy listening Christmas albums. This one's on Mistletoe or Snowflake Records, which is kind of interesting too, because there's sort of I think it's kind of a London, no, it's Burbank, California. I don't know. I have a couple of Christmas records on Snowflake label, and they're kind of off-brand or something. Anyway, I don't know where to put this stuff. So then I went from there, and I just walked down the street half a block to Savers, and I had a 20% coupon. So yeah, it's good to look for something. And I found a few things, not a lot, not a lot happening on a Sunday at Savers, but I got a few things. I got a couple CDs for Moody Mood Music, for Radio Green Goddess, Easy Listening, I don't even know what I'm saying. New Age ones. It's a Healing Collection CD, Music of the Great Smoky Mountains. Not absolutely sure. I don't have this one already somewhere. A couple from Tony O'Connor, Mariner with Ocean Sounds. Pan flute, I think this one is, yeah. Another Tony O'Connor, Tales of the Wind. This doesn't say it has nature sounds on it, but I was hoping it would. And then Danny Wright, Autumn Dreams. So some new agey ones. I did pick up a record album, Swinging with Krupa, Gene Krupa. What's interesting is I always see the records that I have redonated there. It's kind of funny because I don't understand exactly how Savers works, but they always say, well, we're not selling people's donations. When you donate, somehow it goes to charity through your donations. And then they say, when I've looked it up, like Savers actually buys their inventory. It's not from the donations, which is really odd to me, and also is very odd and absolutely untrue on some level, because unless they buy it from the cells, because I quite often redonate records that I've already digitized and I'm kind of done with, I don't need to hang on to. I redonate them to take them to Savers, and they give you a 20% off coupon. And I see my own records that I donated all the time. I saw a bunch today. I'm like, I just had this record. I just gave it to them. What do they mean? You donate, it doesn't go to the store, it goes someplace else and they buy their inventory. I'm like, yeah, I don't know about that. Anyway, then I also bought just this bracelet. I usually buy sort of like tiki, as I'm wearing now, anything that's remotely sort of tiki like. Um, yeah. And then finally, I got a bag of tea light candles. These are kind of all multicolored tins. I don't know. But I just ran out. I almost never run out of something like that. Can you believe it? I'm just out of tea lights. How is that? I haven't bought any at Ross or anything recently, and I just used my last one the other night. So $3.99, but with a 20% discount, that's actually cheaper than I would get them at Ross. So I might as well pick up these. So that's what I did. And then I went to eat lunch. If I remember to insert a picture here. I went to the Golden Eagle, which is very close to Savers, one of my favorite restaurants. I love that place. It's just an old fashioned mom and pop Chinese restaurant. And I love this kind of place. There used to be like a million of them here. I feel like there's not as many anymore. But they used to be all over the places. These kind of either local restaurant, plate lunch places, and also like local Chinese restaurants used to be everywhere. But where it's like mom and pop. The furniture is like booths from the 60s or whatever, and they have like pictures of the food on the walls, and they always never have enough storage. So they all these kind of restaurants always have lined up against the wall or the back booths. They have like boxes of cardboard cardboard boxes, either full of goods or just the stacking the boxes or whatever that they reuse. Kind of funny, but I love their food. I got sweet sour cabbage with beef today. And after that, then I stopped at, final stop was at the India Market, which is sort of between Savers and my bus stop home. And I picked up what I was really wanting. You've heard me talk about these jars of feta stuffed green peppers, small green peppers that I really, really wanted. And they were out of them, and I got the feta stuffed red peppers, which were okay, but they weren't as good. They were okay, but they didn't have the same flavor. They just tasted like a red bell pepper with this feta in it. And when I went today, they hadn't restocked them or gotten them back in yet. So I thought, well, let me try these, which they did have Macedonian pepper stuffed with feta. So I did look it up because I wanted to make sure, but Macedonian peppers are supposed to be hot-ish. Hot-ish. Now, this is all a matter of opinion, right? What your idea of hot is, but they say Macedonian peppers are a little on the warm side, not flaming hot, but they do have some heat. Whereas I guess like the other ones, I got the green peppers, stuffed smallish green peppers. They do have a little heat in them, but they're also kind of sweet. It's a little both. And I guess this is supposedly just more hot than sweet, but I don't know. I should Maybe I should just open it up and try one here. I don't know. It's kind of messy, but I won't. I'm curious. So I just got one to see. $4.99 is what they were. I also picked up. I always pick up. Um, they have these convenience foods, which I love, in the little sacks that you can either put the sacks in boiling water or you can just open them up and put them in the microwave, which is what I usually do. And I hadn't tried. They have a whole bunch of different kinds. They're $3.80, which is a really good deal here for a meal. Definitely makes one meal, sometimes two if I'm having it with other stuff. Um, I got. I haven't gotten this particular one before. Rajma chawal. I don't know. It's red kidney beans with rice, and it's seasoned, of course. So, yeah, I love these things. So fast and easy and lovely. And I haven't had one I didn't like. I have had some I liked better than others, but I haven't had one I didn't like at all. And finally, I wanted some kind of cracker or something, but nothing too, not like a cookie, not sweet, but just a little bit. And they happen to have these things on sale for $2, which is really good. And I've had them before. Toasty, Britannia. I love the India market. It's just all this stuff from India, the Middle East, Mediterranean, all kinds of exotic things. Suji Rusk, I have no idea if I'm saying that right at all. Seminole biscuits. These are, they do have a little bit of sugar. They're very lightly sweet, which is kind of nice about a lot of Asian, particularly Japanese, but some of the Indian, it depends on what it is, but they do have a lot of things that are, you know, lightly sweet, not heavily sweet. Like this has 8 grams of sugar total, so that's not much. But you can drink it with tea. I guess that's what they recommend. But they're just good as a snack. But there's something in this. What is the taste? Is it sesame? Cardamom. Cardamom. You definitely there's a sesame and a cardamom flavor that you get with the sweetness, which is very odd, I think, to an American taste bud. Bite into a little cracker toast that's like a little sweet, but you get cardamom and sesame. Like, I kind of like it. Takes a little getting used to, but yeah, I like it. And these run sale for $2. I don't know if they're going bad or whatever, because they're normally like 5, I think. But I already opened up a few and had some sitting at the bus stop on the way back. But they're like a Melba toast, right? And they have there's a little seed. You can see that's not mold. That's a seed. Um, but they do, yeah, get. I don't know how they'd be stale because they're kind of already stale. I mean, it's like Melba toast, right? Very dry toast. I like them. I love them. They're great to snack on. Anyway, yeah, that's it. That's all I did. I got a 26th of the month. My lease is up at the end of this month. I guess it just goes month to month. I hadn't gotten any notification, and I contacted the property management, like, what's happening on the app? It says I don't owe any rent, and my lease is up on the 25th. And what? I mean, if you're going to increase the rent, don't you have to give some kind of notice or something? But yeah, they just said it'll go month to month automatically, and then I can do a lease, a longer term fixed lease if I want to, which I think I'll probably do. I think so. I'm not 100% sure. I'll think about it a little bit, but I always kind of like to get a lease if you can. So it's, they can't just jack it up out of nowhere. Hmm. But then you are bound to it. But I hate moving. Like, I'm not going to move unless I have to. So that's happening, and I can check into my cruise happening in March on February 2nd. I think like a month before they said you can check in and start doing things and deciding on tours or whatever you want. So I'll do that this coming week. And I still haven't got my plane ticket and my reservations and my hotel reservations. I always like to come in a day early. Absolutely. And I always like to, you don't have to do this, but I like to do it. I like to stay after. Because you usually get off the cruises in the morning, but like up and people leave in the afternoon, right? They get flights in the afternoon and in the evening, which you can certainly do. But I don't know. I like to it's so much. It just seems like a lot to get off the ship, which is a a crowded event, with a lot of people jumbling around and whatever, getting off the ship and then going to the airport directly and having to go through all the security and then you get on your flight in a little tiny seat. And that just seems like a lot for a day for me. So I kind of like to get off the ship and go to a hotel. Either by the ship or by the airport, preferably by the airport. It's a little less stressful. Just get a shuttle, go to the hotel, airport hotel. And just check in there and chill out for the day and sit by the pool and have a nice dinner and decompress, and then also catch up on all my emails. I mean, that day usually, because I don't get email packages or internet packages on the ship because they're very expensive. They're oftentimes not very good. Like the internet is not very good. And part of the reason I like when I go on a cruise is to kind of just detach from that. And when you're in port somewhere, there's always places you can catch some free internet on your phone. Like, where people are huddling around and like, oh, free internet. You can check something for anything really important you need to check. But I don't usually even do that. I just like totally check out for like the cruise basically. But when I come back the next day, like I do like to just catch up on everything and be in the hotel and like, okay, let me watch, some videos I missed or catch up on emails and whatever. So I do like to stay an extra day. I don't know. I know I don't have to, but I can. So I usually do. And then get a flight kind of early in the morning the next day because the early flights are pretty cheap usually. And it's good to book an early flight. I have learned this too. Travel tip, if you have some flexibility, it is good to leave, to get a flight early in the day rather than later in the day, because the later you go in the day, the more likely they are to have, missed connections, to have delays in planes and flights moving around, and you'll have more trouble getting, rebooked. You might not be able to get rebooked until the next day, and yada, yada, yada. Whereas if you go really early in the morning, if you can, you're kind of done with it right away, and there's less chance of things going wrong or delays or whatever early in the morning. But if there are delays or something happens, you have a much better chance of getting on an earlier flight than like if you're later in the day. And I've had that happen to me, and I've have read that advice, and I have found that to be true. If you can go in the morning, go early in the morning, it's just better. if, Unless you have all the time in the world, and I guess it doesn't matter. But I hate going, back and forth to the airport. Like if your flight gets delayed, and they're like, okay, well, they have to give you, well, they usually gave you a hotel room depending on what the situation was. I think now they kind of have to, if it's the next day, they have to like give you a voucher or something. But then you have to go there and get the shuttle to the hotel and check in, and then you have to go back out. You know what I mean? It's just, anyway. Okay, I think that's it. I think we're all caught up. That is my haul. That's what I got, and that's what's going on with me right now. So hope you guys are doing well, and we will catch up with you in the next video. I'm still digitizing music fast and furious here, so we're working on it.